Well, what will be good for these big episodes where we have multiple guests is let's go down the line and you can tell the listener your name and your sort of key role or your main use, your main utility as part of Weird Neighbour. Let's start here.
Oh, God, I don't want to start.
Okay, great. Let's go here.
We're going to find out what everyone does in just a second ourselves. This is kind of live. So I'm Jack Brady. I do a lot of the writing and acting for Weird Neighbour. Some of the producery things too. I'm always the guy kind of reaching out and grabbing collabs and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I will say the community guardian. I don't know.
Will we now?
We're making up roles. This is all we're just learning.
This is sort of part like a company meeting type moment.
Yeah, I'm figuring this out too, what I do. And I'm not happy with my own performance.
Yeah, you're also HR, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
Andy does heaps though. Andy does a lot of stuff that he can talk about.
Yeah, I hold the camera.
Oh, so humble as well, so modest.
Yeah, I do,
Hey, you also do the lighting.
I do lighting as well. Yeah,
editing is editing in there.
Yeah, bit of editing, bit of writing.
Can I tell you about the word modest? Every time that I use it, I think back to being in grade 6 when I wrote a very long story in my exercise book and I got the attention of my English teacher and they were like, "Oh, Master, why you've been writing so much?" I've actually told the assistant principal. The assistant principal came and said, "Oh, wow, that's really impressive that you've done on that." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is pretty impressive." And she said, "Oh, and modest too." And I didn't know what the word modest meant, so I just went, "Yep." And
that's me.
And sort of from then on, I've had to go, "Okay, what does modest mean?" All right, yeah, great. That was
a bit of sass from a teacher, though. I don't
wasn't
know how
it?
I feel about
wasn't
that.
it just what I can't back myself in this tall poppy culture?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Jess, which one are you?
Which one am I? I'm definitely tall poppy. No, so I'm an actor, writer, and I also do a bit of the producery stuff. But we kind of we all do what needs to be done, I guess. People jump in when they do. But yeah.
So tell us about the origin story. How does Weird Neighbour come to be?
We all met from different things, various over Melbourne. Like Andy studied at.
I met Jack on Star Now.
Yeah, okay.
I remember Star Now. Tell the listener about Star Now. Actually, Jess, this might be good for the actors amongst us.
We don't need to talk about
What's the reputation of Star Now?
Oh, it's like the bottom of the barrel casting platform.
How dare you.
Anyone can go on it. Hey, we were all on it at one point or another, or maybe still are.
I've got a profile on there.
The account's there. It's not deleted.
I deleted mine, but apparently it's still there. It's kind of like, you can never
forever.
leave. It's like a
And for whatever reason, the search engine optimization on Star Now is really good. So even if you've got a professional, grown-up looking website, your Star Now account from 10 years ago is still the thing that's at the top of the Google.
100%.
Your headshot that you took yourself.
IMDb what?
I was on a smoke break at a pub I was working at, and I saw a student film. It was about an Irish grave robber, and I was working like 50 hours a week. I'd moved to Melbourne way back in the day. I was like, I want to do something.
Just contextualize your age and the year for the listener.
1920s. It was the turn of the century. We had the Great War. We were like, this will never happen again. No, it would have been 2018. I just graduated from Whopper. I wasn't.
You and Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. He
different years.
Yeah, both recognizable names from Whopper. He's on the board. You take a photo of it when you're over there in Perth. But yeah, I was like, that sounds sick. Sounds like a fun little role. I'll jump in there and do something instead of just like grinding and hospitality. And that's where I met Andy. He was the director on the shoot. And during the shoot, I was like, man, this is a great script. And I did something I've never done since. Which is
stuff?
Yeah, no, I wasn't. It was all above board. I wrote myself it's actually worse. I wrote myself a little monologue like midway through the film. I was like, dude, listen, man, if you put this in this film, if you have a little monologue moment, it's gonna slap.
Whoa,
it's gonna be really
check
good.
out Ed Norton over here.
I know.
I've done a bit of script doctoring.
Andy, were you not annoyed as the writer? Were you not like a little bit pissed off?
Yeah,
like, who is this actor
that is a bold
writing
move.
their own
Yeah,
lines?
let me give a bit of context to this film. So this was a period piece it was a student film. We were shooting in Shepparton, so it was like 2.5 hours away. Most of it was at night. Most of it was like wet and raining in August. We covered Jack in blood. We covered him in vomit. We dropped him in a grave.
Well, so we're coming up to the anniversary.
We it was a lot, and Jack kept getting auditions. So on
Star now.
On Star.
No, I don't. I have a real
your phone's blowing up on set. You're like, guys, I gotta take this.
And so Jack was. Did we get someone to drive you, or did you drive?
The first day it's like, we'll drive you back to Melbourne, and then I kept getting auditions. So they were like, you'll now drive yourself. So I was driving like the 2.5 hour drive there and back every day, not sleeping.
To then get there with 20 other uni film students.
And you must have this energy about you. Like, I'm so wanted, and I got to go and do these auditions.
I think either side of that shoot, the 6 weeks before and 6 weeks up, no auditions, total nothing. And that week they're like, we will now, it's time.
And so covered him in blood. We were shooting from 8 p.m. till 4 a.m. every night.
Wow.
And then on the last night, dripping wet, covered in blood, he comes to me like, I've written a little monologue. And I'm like, yeah, buddy, you can have it. I've put you through enough.
And here you are coming in with coffee is for closers only, banging it out.
You suffer for your art. Look, I stand by that moment needed a bit of breath and levity. And
did it make the cut? They say that there is the film you shoot, the film you edit, and the film that
you let your actor kind of put his hands on because
it was the best written part of the film. Actually, a lot of people were saying, "I love that little speech. It felt so genuine and earnest."
That is delightful, and those are the moments that can go either way. Jess, have you ever been so bold to get involved in the writing when the script is already locked on anything you've been involved in?
No, I haven't, but maybe I should.
It's a faux pas.
I feel like it's just a little bit frowned upon.
Well, what's the atmosphere for your average Weird Neighbour sketch? Is there a script lock moment, or are you still experimenting on the day and finding
once they're locked, we're very precious about them and they don't change a single little bit.
We have no respect for the script whatsoever.
None at all.
There's occasionally mild respect.
Just in case the listener can't hear the tongue in cheek.
Yeah. We said we'd be earnest today before we came in, and Andy's gone for ironic. He's incapable of.
No, it's very, very welcome.
We really don't care. If someone wants to change a line, if it's not working in the moment, switch
Even if it is working in the moment, we'll still switch it up,
Yeah.
And also, what's the harm? Because it is recorded, so therefore you can mess around in the edit with the best option. Why make a fight out of it on set when you can go, do your weird monologue, your blood-covered sack of shit.
That's it.
Well, I think as well, because we all sort of trust each other as performers, we know, I guess we all have that trust in each other. If someone's like, oh, I can do it better this way, or this is more leaning towards my skill set, why would we not let them do it? We're all here to elevate everything together. You know what I mean? And if you don't like a line and you're like, no, this feels better this way for me in my take, why would we not want that?
Totally. So tell me, how does the relationship evolve into what it is today?
Well, I think there's just one noteworthy thing I want to say is that I actually auditioned for Andy's student film and I didn't make the cut.
Really?
It was my first doing auditions, and I think I just auditioned as many people. We did 100 auditions for a 2-minute student film.
That's way too many auditions.
Way too many. And we did them in person. It's in person and self-tapes and everything, and it was too much, and I haven't been in an audition room since.
We've never. Auditions now are they seem all right.
Yeah. If they seem keen, they've got the role, kind of thing.
Yeah, PTSD.
Yeah.
Mine was a self-tape, so whether or not it was actually.
There we go.
I'm still mad at you, Andy.
I know. Hey, if we ever do the sequel, you can audition again.
Thank you.
To actually engage with Marcel's question.
Thank you so much.
And bringing it back. That's all right. I obviously we met up with Jess. I met Jess through acting class, Justin Lehman's classes, which are fantastic classes if you're in sort of the Meisner method and, acting is reacting. And we became friends through that. And then we met Zave and George and Michael.
Because you have a regular ensemble of familiar faces that keep popping up. Do you, all of them Weird Neighbour ensemble, or are they just people that happen to be on screen? What I'm saying is, you have Auntie Donna, they have the 3 on screen and then the 2 or 3 off. I lose count sometimes.
Yeah.
Has everyone done the Blood Pact We Are All Weird Neighbor ensemble, or people just get called up when you need them?
It's a bit of both. There's definitely a few who are, sort of go-tos at this point, but it's never something we've fully codified. We've never really sat down. I feel like we're doing Weird Neighbor thing for about a year and some change. And yeah, we've never really had a moment where like, yep, this is clearly who we want to have in all our sketches. I think it's like a very loose group of like who's available on the day.
What was it at the beginning then? If it's still pretty loose at the beginning point when you put out your first video, was it branded from the get-go? Was it, here's something that I'd like to be doing on a regular basis from the get-go, or did you just fall into it?
It was really the organist that kind of started it all, I'd say.
Let's speak on that. This is the feature.
This is the feature, yeah. So we did the feature before we had kind of come up with the Weird Neighbor brand and stuff and like the channel and whatnot. And that was something that was written by Jack, myself, Zave, and George. And just because coming out of COVID, we were bored and didn't have anything to do and thought, we made like a few short films. Why don't we just see how we go with the feature? And we wrote it in a way we could do it and with like what we had available. And that was like 2022, 2023 is when we made.
That's the most casual way to talk about shooting and creating a feature film. These things are expensive. How did you make it happen?
Very casually. Very unfortunately, that's the truth of the
Everyone's
response.
volunteering their time, sort of thing. Or
that's it. Yeah,
we had some plans. We got Sam Jelly to come on and do a lot of some of the production design things, and we had a bunch of locations of like, oh, cool, we can shoot this on a houseboat. Let's write a bunch of scenes on a houseboat. We wrote a lot of the whole script based around what we had available, and we made the story around that. And in terms of how it works, like I'd be doing a bar shift the night before till 2 a.m, maybe rock up the set at 9, like learning lines while I'm like making vodka lime sodas, that kind of thing. Like it was very much like it became an ordinary part of the day to day.
Are you, Jack, are you one of those rare properly working class type actors that isn't coming from a lot of family wealth and just sitting around?
I wish not. My parents are in Queensland.
But you know what I mean? How many people's stories are able to feel quite comfortable because their families are wealthy, or because you lucked out, or something like that, inventing or investing in Microsoft stock back in the day. But it sounds like, you are having to try really hard to fit all this in, because I see the videos online and yet the output seems to be so regular and dense. Like, how do they find the hours in the day?
I've been working in bars since I was like 18. I've been in hospo, various things. Now I host trivia instead of working in bars, and do other little day-to-day things. So I think
is trivia not also in bars?
I'd say it's I'm never leaving bars. I'm doing bar-related work, activities in bars. Yeah, I think that's
how's your stamina in that category? Because it's a grind to be able to be working all the time and then in your free time be trying your best to do your creative side as well.
I'd have given up on this years ago, like 5-6 years ago, if I didn't have mates with me. That's the truth of it. I am constantly pushed and supported by like lovely, lovely friends.
Do you want to name any of them in case they're in this very room?
Yeah, shout out to Dave back in Brisbane. No, it's a weird name. It's Andy, Jess, Dave, George, Mike, like the whole crew really. I joke saying like whenever one of us is going through like the standard seasonal depression in Melbourne, someone isn't. Someone is stable enough to sort of like hoist everyone up a little bit. As long as someone is okay, they can kind of keep the ship, they can keep things kind of going. I think that's a big part of it. Like obviously there's not enough hours in the day to do this. But when I am feeling exhausted and run down and overworked, someone else kind of steps in and takes the brunt of the workload. And that's how it's been a little bit sustainable over the year. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so good to work with an ensemble. That's so good.
Yeah.
Tell me about The Organist for the listener and where they can check it out as well, as you describe. But where did the story come from? What's it about?
Yeah, so pretty much like Jack said, we wrote it for what we had. So we realized all we had was each other's houses. So we thought, okay, cool, door-to-door salesman. And we went from there and tried to figure out how we could make it absurd and whatnot. So we came up with, door-to-door salesman, but he comes for your organs. And then we could like tie in like cost of living crisis and all these sort of applicable kind of themes. And wrote it with Jack as the lead because we knew he could kind of carry a.
You know, he went to Whopper.
He went to
I was
Whopper.
there for a bit.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman's also there. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I think I went. Did I?
You didn't go. To
No, I didn't go.
You
to
weren't at
Whopper.
Whopper.
Are you trained or are you self trained?
I studied film and TV at uni. I went to Deakin. It was good. Met a lot of cool people, and
There seems to be different, especially in the screenwriting world, especially I suppose, but different opinions of what school gives you versus learning it on the streets.
Yeah, I think I definitely have learnt a lot more not at uni, but uni was a really good stepping stone from like, you know, the structure of like coming out of high school and like not immediately losing all sort like form of motivation, but also being a little bit held responsible for yourself. And then coming out of uni, you as long as you find the people that you can work with and you from uni and from like, you know, doing the films and the people you meet on Star Now, you can continue that and you can self-motivate, and then that's why we kind of have been working as well as we have. So
Deadlines, connections, having other people to count on is humongous.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely.
But but this not just a thrown together thing. You managed to sell The Organist as well.
Yeah. So
tell me about that side, because all of this is scary to me.
We had no idea. Like we made it and we're like, cool. We did a little feature film, and then we had no idea. We were like, okay, I guess we'd throw it up on YouTube and kind of be done with it. And so we
just want to call you out on using the word little. It's not a little feature film. It's a feature film.
But you're totally right. The Australians, we love to diminish. Yeah, we love to. Oh, I did a little feature film. It took a little bit of my time, and I put a little bit of energy into it.
Feature film was nothing. Yeah. No, it was a big undertaking. It did take like a few years, and we are very proud of it. But coming out the other end, we had no idea where to go from there.
Yeah, there's not enough resources out there about that part of it. It really is like a combination of who you know and experience and principles that you can follow and vague ideas. You can maybe listen to a podcast of someone who sold their film and be like, okay, so maybe I'll try something like that. But really,
you are becoming the very resource you required at that time. This is a butterfly effect situation.
This is going to really mess with the time paradox that we're working through to make this happen. I think, it's nuts, that aspect. You don't know how much, you know, what split you want to go with a company. You're not sure exactly if it's more, you know, you're going to get your cash from streamers, you're going to get it from, you know, TVOD, AVOD, which is, you're going to sell the movie and have ads with it and make the money through that, or you're going to get people to pay up front, and all these things sort of.
I'm surprised to even think, does my product have any value at all? Does anybody want this?
That runs through my mind every time I watch it, no doubt. I think at a certain point, we're very fortunate to get into Melbourne International Film Festival, and that's sort of that. Getting in there gave us a lot of confidence that people did want to see it and we could push it out there, and getting that helped us sell it to Umbrella, who we're very grateful for.
I'm dropping in to the middle of this episode because I want to tell you about the Patreon. I want you to sign up. $5 a month gives you access to all of this good stuff. 90 episodes behind the paywall, weekly bonus episodes. It also gives you access to our Discord group, a Discord that is full of comedians from around Australia and slowly the world, swapping material, offering advice, getting ideas, getting booked on gigs, expanding their networks. $10 a month gets you access to our weekly workshops where I invite comedians from around Australia, professional comedians, to help workshop your material. It's such a good deal. Check out the Comedy Writers Group on Patreon. Check out our podcast on all the good podcast platforms. Hey, thanks for watching this episode. Film Festival is coming up again.
Yeah.
And a member of the Comedy Writers Group is producing a show called a film. Starring, directed by? No, I might be wrong about the directed by, but it's called Zombutcha, and it's about zombies who are created via kombucha.
Oh, I've heard of this. This is
my friend Emma's film, and it's there's a small little cameo from one master Blanch-de in it as well. Yeah,
congratulations!
Thank you so much.
Exciting.
But also, I didn't get into their producer program where I could shop my script around. So you're dead to me, Melbourne International Film Festival.
But not to us. And I cannot stress that.
We love you, man.
We have no affiliation with Marcel's
Okay, if
point
you
of
are
view in this
listening, though,
case.
please give my application another look over. You didn't let me submit my script. Anyway.
It is hard. Is that 37 degrees?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is hard to get in because we also, like, we submitted The Organist to be like, oh, we want to shop the film around. We didn't get in, but we were in the festival. So it was like, yeah, I think that's quite a...
Curious.
Maybe you got to make the film, Marcel, and then
I
do
guess
it backwards.
It's a secret.
Make the film.
Just make the movie.
Yeah, just gotta make the movie.
Just make the movie.
But I feel like connecting this back to what you were mentioning before, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like that's kind of how Weird Neighbour came about. It was being like, cool, we have this big film and now we want credibility. Like, instead of being like, we're a bunch of friends who make films together, it was like, okay, if anyone's going to take us seriously for things like funding and different programs, it was like, maybe we need to have some sort of legitimacy to this.
Well, yeah, that's
Let's be an entity.
Yeah, and that's, we kind of, had the film, didn't have Weird Neighbour or anything. We're getting into MIF at that time and we're like, all right, we need to start, getting a name out there, whatever.
Walking a certain walk. Let's get off Star Now and get onto one of the...
Get onto Star Now Pro.
Showcast is the next level of casting
yeah.
networks. Give them a shout out. They take my money every month.
Yeah, I've got to pay for that, I suppose.
And so, Weird Neighbour kind of became a twofold thing of like, we want a name for The Organist and like something to help with that. But we also figured with social media and online and everything, we need to start having a presence online. And we've all want to do lots of comedy and sketches and stuff. So I thought, it's a perfect time to like use The Organist to launch this little entity and then kind of go from there.
Now, this is something that people hear a lot. You got to be online. You got to have an online presence. You got to be crushing it online. And it's said with such an absolute energy that the idea of approaching something without an online presence seems crazy. Like I've had people that I work with go, I'm thinking about doing a show at Fringe Festival or Comedy Festival, but I don't really have much of a following. And I think it's that voice that goes, well, you're supposed to. What have you discovered from having an online presence? What doors has it opened? Has it felt like it's legitimized you? Tell me about actually going down that path and becoming a brand with lots and lots of views and likes.
Yeah, we a few of them have popped off. The algorithm has kind of swept us up in its gentle judging arms. I think I'll try and speak positively. There's obviously downsides to it.
No, obviously. Let's talk about those too.
I was unhooked for a long time off of social media, and I was...
You were pretty anti the whole us doing real, like, short form content in the first place.
Yeah, I was against it. Eventually, I caved.
I'm an artist. I went to Whopper.
Yeah. I was on Star Now, for God's sake. But I think it's seriously positively, is it has created a sense of community. I've met people I would not have met if I didn't have online content. I've loved when people have reached out and I've got to share what they're doing and go back and forth. And I think that's, how I've come to meet you, Marcel, is through Jess, obviously improv, but also just us exchanging DMs online or just likes, being like, hey, that was great content.
Your profile does a great thing that I think some people overlook, which says, correct me if I'm wrong, collaborations welcome.
Yeah.
And just that in the bio was enough for me to go, oh, I might reach out and say, oh, I'd be up for something if you're ever interested. I think a lot of people have the energy and interest in collaborating with others, but don't literally put it out there in that simple 2-word phrase on their profile, and they are the ones waiting around going, why doesn't anyone want to play with me? And it is that difference.
Yeah, we're keen. I just think it is a little bit of vulnerability there to be like, hey, let's meet up, let's chat, let's see if we can collaborate, see if something happens. But it has been undoubtedly the most rewarding part of making the short form content things and posting things online.
Let's help each other out. I've got a platform here. We do good work. It looks really slick as well. I think that helps a lot, that even if someone was to be in one and they weren't, and it was, didn't pop off in the way that you're talking about, this one didn't go viral. Oh, well, it still looks good. I could still put it in my show reel.
Real.
Yeah.
That can go on Star now. I'm gonna get paid on that. I'm just going. I'm going.
We're actually
I'm leaning
sponsored
in.
by Star now, by the way, Marcel.
A lot of people, their main takeaway from this episode will be like, I guess I should get on Star now.
You really don't need, I shouldn't say that, actually. You really don't need to.
Well, it's how we met our social media intern, which is in Arisa development. You're Malcolm. Malcolm?
Yeah, g'day.
Yeah. You know,
I was wondering whether you wanted me to be here or not.
Yeah, no, I want you to be here, man.
Do you want me to take some photos?
Yeah, take some photos.
Yeah,
if you
take
can.
some candid. Ooh,
What's the
take some
value of
candid-
having a social media intern? Because that feels like a big step to have someone work for free and be part of it.
Yeah, well, free for now. When we monetize things down the track, we can.
Video or still.
Just maybe a bit of both. Yeah.
Get some videos,
that'd be good.
He was someone else who we said, hey, we're looking for an intern who would be interested. And we had a few applicants, but I really, just not in front of the cameras too much, man. Thanks. So not.
Oh, Malcolm just.
He's going on. No, it's all good.
It doesn't seem to be in the same sort of vibe as you guys. I'm trying to put this in the most polite way possible, but he seems.
What vibe
is he related to you? Is he one of your?
I'm right here.
No.
Well, you're not on mic, so it just.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's just all right. I think it's a positive thing. I think we want a different energy. We want diversity of opinions in age, in backgrounds,
a life well lived.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was cool. It was cool to like get him involved, get him in like the involved in things, and I think it's been really rewarding. Just having someone to work with, like Malcolm and I were going to the footy this weekend. We both go for the Brisbane Lions.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
So I got tickets.
You never know who you're gonna connect with, and
yeah. So stuff like that, like this isn't possible if we stay isolationist. And I think there is a difference between film and comedy. Comedy world, I feel like everyone puts themselves out.
That's all right. Do you want to go again?
We'll get them again.
So tell me about some of the downsides. So you were someone who was nervous about getting into short form content. What are some of the downsides of that?
I can see the flaws in that. Sorry.
I hit press.
He wasn't rolling.
I wasn't rolling. It was what did the opposite.
Yeah.
That's
all
okay,
right.
Malcolm.
Yeah.
Just
If it can happen sort of in an ambient sort of way.
Can we go again? Can we start that again?
Yeah, I mean.
We're still rolling.
Yeah.
just keep going. Just
We'll
just
keep going.
Press record
give it
and
another-
just
No, you're right, man. Don't stress. Yeah, I think like downsides. It is way harder to leave a positive comment in your own mind than a negative one. I think I've seen your guests talk about this before, but the negative seems to stay with you. The positive seems to.
Because you can bomb online. That's what I've found is I don't put out nearly as much content as you guys do, but I do find and bombing, usually we talk about no laughs whatsoever, but bombing online is, we put a lot of work into this particular video. I reckon this one could be something, and then it falls flat. How does that feel?
Yeah, I think I've found like the amount of work you put into a reel has no effect. Like
It's not always proportional.
You could put the least amount of work into a 13-second reel and it goes off, gets a million. You can put a few days work into one, and
therefore, how deliberate are you when you have one that worked? Let's talk about the writing side of things. Do you then go, all right, how do we recreate that sort of thing again? Do you start working to a formula or a house style? Or are you going, because I feel as if there is a certain eclectic quality to Weird Neighbour. It feels like there's a lot of different authors and vibes going on rather than, we've figured it out, let's just do this.
I think it's kind of like we're trying to amalgamate all of our own styles and keep them on brand for the entity that is Weird Neighbour, but also like please our overlord, which is the algorithm.
I want to be cool, but like that was real confident use of the word amalgamate. That was rad.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Yeah, I know some big words, Marcel. Not to toot my own.
I don't know if I
horn.
could ever be so bold. So yeah, you've got a bunch of different styles, and I want to weave in both the writing and the authorship thing together. Jess, being an actor, having yourself there, and are there ones where you go, this one's going to crush? Are you someone compulsively checking how a new video is doing, or are you able to switch off?
I'm a big fan of I heard this on a podcast recently. Create, not consume. So I think it's important to like put something out, let it go, And then obviously like check back in, but I think like flipping the way you think about it in terms of what can I learn from this? So you do something and it either does well or it doesn't do well. You kind of try to let go of the emotional attachment to it and then be like, okay, what's doing well? Then you kind of double down. Like we had
how are they using the word consume in that analogy? Is it like consume
like basically like doom scrolling and get really invested in what you're posting, what's doing well, what's not, in terms of like the emotional component of it, I suppose. But if you're like constantly creating, you can put your focus on the creation. And that's just something that I try to keep in mind with like social media in general.
It's
to
a great
be a creator,
point.
not a consumer, because when you consume it, it can be a bit.
While like a movie maker might be in the test screenings of a movie, they're not in every screening of a movie. And I think that's what we sometimes do to ourselves as online creators, is that we are showing up to every screening going, has anyone turned up for this? Oh no, two tickets sold for the 3 p.m. screening. Okay. Like you wouldn't be in the lobby. You wouldn't be you'd be back at the studio shooting another red picture. You know, that's how they talk about it, isn't it?
That's exactly
That's Hollywood speak.
That's the parlance.
Yeah.
That sounds so healthy, Jess. I wish I had that.
You're glued to the numbers?
Yeah, very much so. I would say there's almost like between me and Andy a bit of friendly competition of like thinking like, I reckon this one's going to do better than the one you wrote. And like the nicest, I think it lowers the stakes in a weird way of like, it really makes it like a bit of fun, because we both are just aiming for like, we want a certain amount of engagement each month. We want to have a certain amount of growth. And I think when we kind of make it a bit of fun or get to blame the algorithm, it really does like loosen the tension, so to speak. And I think that is probably one of the more helpful ways we've sort of engaged with our content.
So let's talk about the writing side of things. How do you each, you're all involved in the writing process. Tell me about how you each approach writing a sketch.
Basically have like a big group chat that is just for scripts, and we just, if you write a script, chuck it in the chat, and then occasionally we do rounds of feedback, or if you want to work with someone on something, and we kind of go from there.
Yeah, there's been a few scripts that, you know, like Jack and I will write together and we'll sit down and do that, or like, you know, we'll pair off and do that, or we'll come together as a whole, as a group and try and write as a writing day. They can either go be very productive or not at all, like, you know, anywhere in between.
Or both, depending.
Or both, yeah.
The last writing day we had, which was that last week? Yeah. It was really good, but I think towards the end of the day, somebody, Andy, was just cranking out some really incredible
stuff. The best stuff I've ever written.
It was like 8 hours in though. We'd been writing all day, but
so it's a real sort of what do they call it in the video game industry? Crunch sort of sessions.
100%.
Is the idea to have always more content than you can shoot, that you've got a lot of banked material to work from?
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of how we work, or how I work is I'll work from like a location or an actor. Like we had Stu Dolman in recently to play this bomb defusal expert, because I saw his stand up a year ago. I was like, I got to get him in like a very important role. And I was like, we've got this script, and as soon as we've got a location that will match that, or we've got access to one. So part of what I'll do is like, you know, chatting to someone in a certain industry, and they might have an access to a hairdressing studio or a thing that looks like a bank or whatever it is. And like, cool, now that script that we've had tucked away for a long time, we have a location, we have a cast, we can just go out and do it. Smash it, get it done. So I think it's just because we don't have a budget for anything we shoot, I think having that, you know, if you're prepared and ready, you can just sort of capitalize when you've got like a little opportunity like that.
And what do these writing days look like? How do you best approach a writing day?
Drink a lot of coffee, get really panicked.
Yeah, I'll just keep asking, is this funny? Is this a good idea? Is there something in that? And if I get like a little nod, you know, like, or a little, oh yeah, you could do that, or maybe you could add that thing in. So I think the spark is there of a really open, relaxed beginning, collaboration, and then after you've written it, have a group reading, and then following that, notes, you know, suggestions. Maybe Andy's written a sketch before where I've gone, hey man, hated that, but that 20% was so killer. Just make that whole sketch that 20%. And I think we've got a good enough relationship where we can give each other feedback like that, and it doesn't hurt our feelings too much.
Could we
it
maybe
doesn't hurt feelings.
Can we
I'm
maybe demonstrate? Do you have any like one-line ideas in your notes app or anything like that of how an idea might get fleshed out? Where do you jot down your
That's how
ideas
I
for
work.
sketches?
Like my
You've got
notes, my notes app is.
Yeah, what's one of the
pretty
recent ones that
chaotic.
you've
Let's get
written
it.
down?
Let's have a look.
I want to see how the sausage gets made.
All right. Sketch notes. What's the most recent?
This is what they
I
call
don't
dead
wanna-
air in the industry.
Oh, here we go.
No,
Here we
it's
go.
in there. It's alive.
Funeral home.
Okay.
The funeral director is dressed like a chef and keeps sharpening his knives. Grieving family is concerned and convinced he's going to eat grandpa.
So when we get access
so
to
you-
a funeral home,
Yeah.
which should be any day
We've got
now.
the chef
yeah, if
outfit.
anyone has access to a funeral home, let us know.
We got
So
the chef out.
it feels like that is both image. It's more image than premise potentially, or it starts with image and moves into premise as the more you go along, I suppose.
Yeah, I feel like the one lines can be like whatever. It can be a joke, can be a premise, can be like a location. Like one I had was, and my writing also comes from like production value of like what could I do that I would believe, and so we had access to an office and I could buy like a headset off Amazon. I'm like, all right, we can do a dispatch, like a 000 dispatch sketch, and then. I wrote this whole sketch, and then we were getting Frankie McNair in for a different sketch. I'm like, I'll just see if she wants to do this for 2 minutes at the end because it's you get to sit there and you read off a script, and that's all. And she was down, and she did that, and then that did better than the one we were actually got Frankie in for anyway.
Yeah,
So,
interesting. But so starting with image is also so powerful because as soon as you said funeral director chef, I was picturing the Weird Neighbour thing. I'm scrolling and going, oh, okay, interesting. I can picture my thumb stopping on that image, giving it a few moments, and going, yeah, right, I get it.
that's what we want.
That's exactly
That's
that's the game.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm being cheeky because I'm talking about that phenomenon, which is the hook grabbing their attention within 10, 15 seconds, maybe even 5.
Yeah.
How much are you thinking about hooking the audience as they're scrolling through TikTok or Instagram?
I feel like for myself, at least, that bit comes later. Like, it's actually really interesting hearing the way that your mind kind of comes up with a script, Andy, because you're camera and that's your like world. Like, it makes sense that your brain would kind of filter through that lens, which is really interesting. I feel like for me, I just either get an idea. I've literally written a script because I saw a meme and I was like, oh, that would be funny if, I don't know. I think I just think a lot about things.
Stealing ideas, huh?
Yeah. Basically. I just steal all my ideas. There's no original thought.
No, but let's get into it.
here.
Yeah. So tell me about your process, Jess.
I think for me, I'm quite situational. Like a lot of my ideas when I have like downtime or I'm not really thinking, funny things will just come to me, or something will happen that's really funny in life. And I'll be like, oh, that would be really funny. What if this happens? What if this is heightened by this?
You're in a lot of cafe sketches. That's a regular location. Is that inspired from your experience?
Yeah, like Jack, I also did the hospo grind for a long time, but I'm not a night person. So I was day hospo. So I was a barista, and a lot of my sketches or comedy stuff, I have like a character that I like to do, which is the disgruntled barista, which is actually based on a former workmate of mine who was just, the best way to describe her was lesbian Daria. And she was just the queen of deadpan. Wasn't in comedy at all. She was just like, just incredible. So deadpan, so sarcastic, so rude to everyone who would come in. And she was just my idol. So I kind of created this character based on her. And at the time I was working in a cafe in like Turak Pran. So quite bougie neighborhoods where people perhaps basically treat you like the help, and they're not nice to you if you're in like a service sort of job. So I kind of filtered all of my rage into just funny situations or genuinely like actual encounters I had with customers.
And then you're jotting them down on your phone.
100%. So
And
yeah.
they're going, maybe get off your phone at work and these customers might be a lot nicer to you, Jess.
Yeah, maybe. But I just let that fuel my rage, which also
You're
fueled my
mid-conversation and jotting
creativity.
things down into your phone like,
That's awful. That's one more time. You say it again.
Pretty much. I'm like, I'm sorry, you wanted what? I'm not making that.
Jack, how's your approach to developing
I'll
an
just
idea.
say on that, like, Jess as a barista is our break glass in case of emergency sketch. I think we're ever like, let's just get Jess as a barista. People love it.
We could talk about banking sketches on the page, but do you bank sketches and always have enough video content to be going out on a regular basis?
We will like film sometimes like up to 8 at our max in a day, or 6 or 4, and we'll have a thing and be like, great, this is going to last forever. We have content. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, what? We're out again? How does this keep happening?
Going back to the cookie jar of content. I'll be like, I swear there was 5 more cookies in here.
Yeah, I'm in that, my hand's in that jar, man. And I'm in that permanent cycle. I'm never going to learn. Even this weekend, we got plans to film a bunch, and I have the same thing. I'll be like, yeah, we're good. We're good forever.
Yeah, I have had one moment with this podcast where I had a handful of banked episodes, and I was like, this rules.
How nice is it?
And I'm right back to week of now, and it's not ideal. It's not ideal.
Yeah, I mean, it is better for your own mental well-being, I guess, to not feel like you have to put something out there that you but I think with the way everything is structured online, and we're talking about making regular content, it really serves you and your audience, and I guess the algorithm really picks you up if you are posting as regularly as you can.
Yeah, so let's round out our conversation talking about the goals. And so do you have a quota of how many sketches you want to be putting out? Do you have a certain desire benchmark in terms of the views and where Weird Neighbour is heading? Tell us about looking ahead and how this whole thing operates.
We were doing 2 a week. We did 2 a week for a year.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was crazy. And I think,
because I find just doing like a simple, front-facing camera video twice a week was out of my depth.
yeah, but we've got a team is the beauty of it, of like, someone can pour out.
Good point. That really hit.
So just once again,
really hard.
Marcel's feeling
it was less about headway. It's like I felt really seen all of a sudden. Like, oh yeah, the simplest answer right there.
People just don't realize how much work goes into, a video that could be, 10 seconds.
And less if you're scrolling.
Exactly. Like it's a lot of work goes into
not
them.
invested.
So I think like 2 a week, even if it's like front facing camera, like there's a lot of work that goes into that, Marcel. And like, just
emotionally too. I'm telling the listener that because a lot of the listeners they find it so hard to approach it. So let's talk. How do you approach it, and did you find 2 a week unsustainable? What is it now?
We could do it and we could keep doing it, but we have ambitions with longer form content. We talked earlier about The Organist was a feature we made very casually. And I think that's where we want to head. I think that is where my heart is, longer form things. So we had You Can Smoke Anything, that short film. It's on Grouse. Check that out. It's good. I like it. And The Organist, obviously, I think these longer form things, we've got a short film Jess has written, which is coming up. We're shooting that in September. But I think if you're doing 2 a week sketches, it really meant we didn't have time for the longer form stuff. You've got to sit there, you've got to nurture, and you've got to give notes and feedback to and sit with. And I think, the cost of doing that much content was that our longer form thing suffered. And I think now we're at a point where it's like, well, let's slow down on the short form and let's spend more time in the writer's room together working on our bigger concepts.
Where does my energy want to go?
Yeah. And I think it served us for a while. It kept us fresh, and it was really invigorating to be like, cool, let's get some more sketches. What have we got? Let's get amongst it. But I think at a certain point, now it's switching back over, and hopefully we find a nice moderate in between.
It's got to legitimize you for funding and grant applications, and even moments like. So, what was it to reach out to Auntie Donna at Grouse House and go, "We've got a thing. Can you guys put it on your channel?" What was it like to? Because this is the thing that I'm scared of, is that moment of reaching out and going, would you like this? Can we do this together? And them saying no, and then feeling as if that's monumental to have a moment like that. The Auntie Donna is such a figure in Australian comedy, and this is how I would feel in that position, is if I submitted something to them, they said we're not interested, that meant they weren't interested in me, and not that they weren't interested in that product.
Gotcha. There's vulnerability. It's that vulnerability. Again, I could come back to the team thing, but I think if
You gang up on them.
well,
That's it.
if you don't,
outnumber them.
We said we'd fight them. Yeah,
we slowly outnumber them. I think at a certain point you have to risk. There is an inherent risk in reaching out. There's a vulnerability there. Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
That's a Hugh Jackman quote.
Yeah, it's Hugh Jackman. It's a whopper. It's actually below his pedestal there. He's got a whole thing.
Where's your photo in that mix, Jack? Is yours also
I'll
on the
be there.
wall?
I was shut up.
I'm working. So mean.
I'm working now. Right now, I'm trying to get the front of Star now.
He keeps putting a Polaroid up there and it keeps getting taken down.
Yeah. No, take the risk and then practice self-compassion. Just if you get the no, that's okay. And like adapt. They maybe didn't liked it, but I'm sure someone else around might. You just keep, have a list, keep going, be a pest.
Yeah.
Fuck it,
It's
Sorry for swearing.
It's a great note. Yeah. Apologize to my mother. She listens to this.
My bad.
Well, let's round this out by talking about what's ahead and if you want to plug anything at the same time of where to find you, Andy. What are you hoping to get out of the rest of the year and looking forward with Weird Neighbour and your projects?
Yeah, so I guess I'll plug The Organist because we haven't said it's on Amazon behind a paywall though, so it's not on Prime.
You gotta pay for it.
We're still in the TVOD world.
And what does that stand for?
That's transactional video on demand. We eventually, I think by the end of the year, we're still talking with Umbrella, and they're kind of taking care of this, but we should get on SVOD, which is streaming on demand, or AVOD, which is like your SBS on demand.
Why do they all sound like
They all sound the
Superman
same.
villains?
Yeah.
Didn't
AVOD,
SVOD?
yeah, really
we're gonna
does.
get Zod in the end. And
Didn't
it's gonna
SVOD
be,
kill
The
Superman's
final boss, Zod.
So yeah, it's on Amazon, it's on YouTube, behind a paywall, but check it out anyway because it's fun to give us money.
I think it's only like $6. It's not. It
that
won't break
much,
the bank. We promise.
Yeah, just go without your coffee.
Yeah, I mean, I spent.
Don't go without your coffee.
I
That's insane.
resubscribed to Netflix yesterday so I could watch Happy Gilmore, and I spent $18 watching a movie I don't want to watch ever again. Happy Gilmore 2. I should clarify. It's not great.
Okay.
I liked it.
It's a bit of nostalgia, I suppose. Yeah.
I've heard mixed things.
Andy, I'm pulling out of our sketch.
That's fair. And You Can Smoke Anything is on Grouse, so check that out too. We're hopefully going down that route of we want to make a web series based off You Can Smoke Anything.
Yeah.
Is our next that's what Zave, Jack, and I have been writing. For
I can
the
almost
past
hear
year.
the listeners desperately uploading their Star Now profile and getting it all looked after so they can be ready to audition.
Well, yeah, on the listeners, reach out to us, by the way. Like we talked a lot about collaborating. Like if you've got a script, we have the means to film it. Maybe just come say hi if you want to perform, that kind of thing. We're in Melbourne. Come grab a coffee with us. I think is probably what I would say. Like don't be afraid to, we'll be nice. If you talked about not wanting to reach out, we'll be your first little entryway into reaching out.
A
to
little
someone.
reach out practice.
Yeah, and I'll be kind. That one interaction, I promise you with that, I'll be nice. Make it easy for you. And then you're on your own.
Nice. Jess, what's ahead for you?
Ooh.
You got the short film.
Short
That's
film. Cool. Honestly, one thing that I'm really excited about going forward is just echoing what the guys were saying. We've met a lot of really cool people and had the opportunity to work and collaborate with some awesome human beings, some really great comedians. Just sort of more of that, seeing where it can take us on this journey.
It must be an actor's dream to find cool people to work on stuff and be able to shoot stuff on a regular basis.
It's incredible. I sometimes have to stop and kind of pinch myself. I consider myself, and I hope you guys feel the same, just really lucky that we're able to have the means to do this. And, where one of us are really strong in our skill set, somebody else might not. I don't know how to hold a camera. You know what I mean?
I reckon you could figure it out.
Yeah, but have you seen what Andy can do? You know what I mean? It's kind of I feel like we all kind of lift each other, and I'm very aware that not everyone has that kind of community and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think just not taking it for granted and then being cool, what can we do and how can we expand our sort of circles and collaborate and learn from other people and all of that.
That rules. Does
and do the short film.
Yeah.
Does Malcolm want to say anything
I'd love
before
that,
we sign
actually.
off?
Mal, do you want to
Plug anything?
anything you want
or-
to go up to the microphone
What do
because
you want?
they can't.
No.
No, come. You don't want to say.
What do you want me to do?
Did
Oh,
you
just
get
come
any
to the
photos,
microphone.
Mal?
You can come up here.
There we go.
Anything you want to? You got anything? I'll use Andy's. Anything you got coming up?
No, I was going to talk to you about that. Well, I don't know. What the hell am I doing?
That's.
I feel like you should look after your intern a little bit more.
I'm taking the footy this weekend, for example.
We're going to the footy.
Yeah, we're going to the footy. I think we talked about like we have defined ourselves. We're still, so defining Malcolm's role is tough too. So
I've still been looking for a place to live. So
yeah, we're looking.
Well, why don't you put Malcolm up for a bit?
We're looking for someone. I posted today asking if anyone's got, like, I've reached out to our community saying, has anyone got like a
Malcolm, do you want to just give a quick rundown to the listener of what you might be looking for domicile-wise?
I'm not looking for anything. I'm not looking for any handouts. I've got the van. I can live from the van. Just sometimes I might need somewhere to shower. And
gym membership. You can have free showers at like a.
Yeah, you can get some pretty cheap gym memberships. Like
you're welcome to shower at my house too. Obviously.
But this is still like within that theme of that bravery to reach out. So well done, Malcolm. That takes a lot of bravery to be the person to reach out.
This is a whole new stage in my life, and I've I was 35 years in hardware retail, and then my wife left me, and then Bunnings.
That's about all we have time for, though, today. Thanks so much for coming along. It's been delightful to be able to hang out with you, and I feel very inspired and a little overwhelmed. But thanks for making the time.
Thanks, Marcel.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Marcel.